there's got to be a reason Trump went there. Charlie thinks it's because he's trying to get the narrative going that she's a phony. Delano, I'll start with you. What do you make of it?
Well, I think part of the reason that he went there is because this is something that other people have been discussing. It's becoming louder now, but I believe back in 2019, Don Lemon was on a panel, or had April Ryan on a panel, and he was pushing back, and he was saying, yes, she's black, but she's not African American. And I do think that there is, and I see it just based on some of the corners of the internet that I tend to frequent, that there is a growing sentiment that there should be more delineation between Black Americans, the American descendants of slaves, and those from immigrant backgrounds. And I think particularly because Kamala Harris is someone who, her African ancestry is on her dad's side, and even that is, you're talking about one of his grandparents, is one of those things where people are saying, look, we're not beholden to the one-drop rule anymore. And this is not the plantation primary where we just say, okay, anybody who claims to be a particular identity gets to make that claim publicly and benefit from what they see as a legacy of sort of race and struggle against racism and struggle for civil rights. So I think President Trump probably picked up on this. Someone probably let him know that this is something that's out there, and he's responding to it. Do I think, is it where I would spend my time if I was running for president? No, it is not. I think the obsession with identity on both sides of the aisle is deeply unhealthy when it comes to our political culture. But this is where we are, and he tends to fight like it's gangs in New York, and this is the way the left tends to fight him, and so we're in this battle.
Steve, part of this reminded me a little of Roger Ailes, because when you work for Roger Ailes, if you got in trouble in the news, he would usually run in to take gunfire for you. Like, he would do something to call attention to himself or Fox News Channel. He was great like that. And part of me wondered whether Trump was just trying to put an end to the pile-on J.D. Vance, because no one can change the conversation like Donald Trump, literally nobody. So I don't know, maybe that's just my own background speaking, but what did you make of the whole thing, and how long a controversy is this, do you think?
So Megyn, all of my analysis comes through the filter of, I just think, non-communist America desperately has to win this election. And that's really all I care about. And that's why I did what I did in the primary. And that's why I'm giving the analysis I give now. It's about the America name on the front of the jersey, not the player name on the last name on the back. And right now, this is going to come down to, can Republicans flop or switch, I should say, the 2 to 3 points of independence they lost in 2022? And can Donald Trump get a George W. Bush-like turnout of white women and married women? Republicans have not lost married women since 1996. Trump won them twice. They've not lost white women this century. The best Democrats have done was a tie in 2000. If he just improves by a couple of points with those demographics, he will win this election, regardless of whatever the media is currently saying with this charm offensive with Kamala. And so if what we're discussing is parlayed into a message like what Charlie was discussing before we came on, that this is feeding an overall narrative that she is a fraud, she is a phony, she's not a serious presidential candidate, I think then therefore it is a brilliant tactic. If it is fed into a narrative similar to the stories that are making the rounds today on the heels of Israel taking out high members of the Islamic Command in the Middle East, the Biden administration turns around and cuts a plea deal with 9/11 hijackers, that we've got Jordanian illegal aliens found on military bases being released on their own recognizance, all right, and that this is dangerous. This is a threat to security, your security as a mom, as a family, as an American. And you can't trust these people. They're fake, they're phony. You can't trust them at all. If it's parlayed into that message that hits issues that the voters that are going to decide this thing care about, then I think it's brilliant. If it ends up just being what Delano was just describing, where we're just going to sit there and these are going to be replays of the coronavirus task force hearings, where they're just going to sit there most days and lob bombs back and forth, then my fear is we are going to play right into what's lost the last few elections. And so I think to me, it matters about whether it plays into an overall strategy or not, or whether it's a fight just for the purpose of having a fight.
First of all, nice Herb Brooks reference. Appreciate it as a lover of that film and story, Miracle. But second of all, I think my own take on it is it's only people who hate Trump who think this is earth-shattering. How many controversial things has Donald Trump said where the left freaks out like, this is it. Yay, he finally is going to lose, include whatever group. and he doesn't lose them. It's baked in that he says controversial things. I do think he's strategic on it. I definitely think there was a reason he said it the way he said it and brought it up. And, I think back just even to when he started to attack me after that one debate, his numbers went up. People liked seeing him challenge someone who gets in his face. Even if it's a woman, even if it's a woman with authority, they enjoy seeing that. They hate the media. And I am a part of the media, and I get that. And she is a part of the media. And I think that's really what this is going to boil down to, that he was unafraid of this journalist. He was unafraid of the black journalists in that room, which are sort of like the white woman journalists from Fox. You like previously untouchable, right, by any other candidate. But here he is going to the place that hurts Delano. And while the chattering class may recoil in horror, I think regular people are like, eh. And I'll just give you one example. The Carter family? This is a group of athletes who got their season canceled, I think thanks to COVID. Anyway, it's a group of black men who now have a very popular show. It's got over 1 million subscribers. And their video reacting to the Trump speech yesterday, or a Q&A yesterday, is going viral. Here's a sampling of these guys watching that Q&A. Watch this.
Imagine if somebody treated Kamala that rude.
That's the first thing I thought about.
I'm just
all immunity.
I'm lost at why everyone think that's like
He
a bad
just said
thing.
he's not giving them all immunity.
He said it's a case by case thing.
Case by case.
People were saying that's not a direct answer. That's a
is a
direct
direct
answer.
answer.
When I was scrolling through the Twitter, it's all white journalists calling him racist, saying that black people should be offended. I'm tired of white
trying to get
people.
some retweets.
I'm tired of these white liberals telling me how to feel. People keep using she went to HBCU. White people go to HBCUs.
Yeah.
Our coach.
Mexicans, Hispanics go to HBCU. So they're
Yeah, our
black
coach-
now?
our
They're
white
black
coach
because you went to an
went to
HBCU? Are you white because you went to a PWI?
What do you make of that?
There's a few things that come to mind. One, again, the point that he made at first in terms of imagine how someone would react if they treated, if a journalist, particularly a white journalist, treated Kamala Harris that way, I think is a very salient point. One of the things that I don't think over the last couple of weeks that we've sort of missed is someone tried to kill President Trump.
Oh, yeah.
And obviously it was a big story for a couple of days.
That whole thing.
But the reaction that the left has when they feel that he says mean words is far out of proportion to the reaction that the media has had when someone actually tried to take his life. And I think that should be mentioned. But the other thing to me that I find, particularly just given the work that I do, interesting, is that this is a group of black men. And I know there's been a lot of conversation about whether black men are going to break for Trump in greater numbers than in years past. I think that will be the case. I think he'll get a larger share of the black male vote than he did in 2020. But I think the bigger thing, and this is reflective of NABJ, because there was also some controversy around the fact that there were no black male journalists on the stage asking him questions. And I think part of the reason is that many of the institutions, particularly within the black community, are either run or have the sort of cultural imprint of black women. And you see this most clearly in the Democrat Party, where they will openly say black women are the backbone of our party. They save democracy, they save the world, they save America. And when you frame things that way, black men go from being leaders of their homes and their communities to being damsels in distress who need to be rescued by their women. And I think that there's a growing population of black men who are getting tired of that particular narrative. And they understand that more than policy, what the two parties offer is a difference in worldview. And what Democrats offer is a matriarchal worldview that says everyone wins when women lead. When women run the show, and particularly black women run the show, and black men follow them to the voting booth, follow them in the home, follow them in the culture, that everyone wins. And I think that there are a growing number of men who are willing to play political homewrecker if we can break that hold that Democrats have on the black community.
That is fascinating. That was something I know Roland Martin was also criticizing, the fact that there was no black male journalist up there asking the questions. We found the Don Lemon clip with April Ryan. Here it is.
When you see her blackness, but she is also South Asian. Her mom is South Asian, and her dad is Jamaican.
April, let me listen.
Yes.
More power to her.
And I think
Right.
it's great. That should be enough. Listen, it is enough that she's a black woman.
We are not a monolith.
But no,
either.
no, no, no,
exactly.
no, no, no,
But
no.
they did the same
no,
thing to
no,
Ted
no,
Cruz. They didn't
no,
do, but they
no.
didn't
I
do
think
Ted
you.
Cruz
I think
like
you're
that.
not
Go
hearing
ahead.
what people are saying. The people who are saying is she black enough? That's bull. That's BS. But to
I know what
want
they're
a
saying.
distinction to say is she African American, or is she black, or is she whatever. There is nothing wrong with that. There is a difference between being African American and being black. Latino people are people of color, but they're not black. They're brown people.
She is a woman of color, but she is a black woman.
Okay, that's fine.
Her
I
father
agree with
is a
that.
black
I
man from
agree with
Jamaica.
that. But
Now,
is
I don't
she
wanna get into the
African
pigment. I
American?
don't
No,
wanna
no,
get
no,
into
no,
the
no,
pigment
no.
issue.
But is she African American? There is a difference. There's nothing wrong with that.
The old Don Lemon there, Delano. Good times. Grand Canyon University, a private Christian university in beautiful Phoenix, Arizona, believes that we are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. GCU believes in equal opportunity and that the American dream starts with purpose. By honoring your career calling, you can impact your family, friends, and community. Change the world for good by putting others before yourself. Whether your pursuit involves a bachelor's, master's, or doctoral degree, GCU's online, on-campus, and hybrid learning environments are designed to help you achieve your unique academic, personal, and professional goals. With over 330 academic programs as of December 2023, GCU meets you where you are and provides a path to help you fulfill your dreams. The pursuit to serve others is yours. Let it flourish. Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.